Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, the pilot captain flying the Boeing 777-300 ERX into tonight's flight from Zurich International Airport. We're going to be overflying Zurich, Switzerland and Germany, and then coming back to Zurich International Airport, runway 14 for an Lszh localizer landing. So right now I'm in the cockpit of the Boeing 777-300 ERX airplane. So I'm going to start showing you the instruments and displays of the airplane. Then I'm gonna show you the overhead panel, the APU, the electrical system. I'm gonna show you how to start the engine. I'm gonna make an engine start demonstration and then set up the flight management computer and the autopilot and flight director system panel with the auto thrust for a short flight over Switzerland and Germany. So I'm gonna start with the displays, then I'm gonna show you the flight controls and the ACAS and the autopilot and flight director system. So I'm gonna start with the primary flight display. The primary flight display displays the airspeed, the altitude above the sea level, the altitude above the ground level, the radio altitude. So we use barometric pressure setting for right now in units of mercury for the barometric altitude and also for the airspeed corrected. So we have the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system displayed with magenta, and the altitude selected from the autopilot and flight director system displayed also with magenta. So we have also the magnetic and true heading, the ground speed. We have the magnetic north pole and the true north pole reference because we have the magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. So we have also the heading select from the autopilot and flight director system panel. We have the flight mode annunciator with the auto throttle and the autopilot later on vertical navigation modes, and also the Lszh localizer mode. We have the flight director, the altitude display with the flight director crossbars and the autopilot crossbars for manual or automatic using the autopilot command flight guidance. So we have also the pitch ladder in decrease and the bang angle in decrease, and the Lszh localizer crossbars with the Lszh glide slope and the Lszh runway symbols. So we have also the vertical rate of climb and descent of the aircraft in feet per minute, and the reference from the autopilot and flight director system, or the flight path angle in degrees for climb and descent. So the altitude display, very important, with the pitch ladder and the bang angle. Also we have the navigation display. The navigation displays our position in the GPS map. So we have the GPS reference inertial navigation map display. Using the air data inertial reference unit is the overhead panel. We align the aircraft using the GPS receivers, 2 or 3 GPS receivers, and also the gyroscopic alignment system with the laser gyros. It's also used for gyroscopic precession and acceleration rates of the airplane as it flies. We also have the magnetic north pole and the true north pole, also in the ADIL, the data inertial reference unit in the overhead panel. We have the database with the navigation aids like the airports and the waypoints and the ADS and the workstations. We also have in the ADIL air data inertial reference unit displays the airspeed and the barometric altitude and the radio altitude, and some other information like the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies. So we have also in the navigation display other aircraft are flying around us using the transponder system, the ADS-B or the ADS-C transponder systems. I'm going to show you later. We have also the terrain reflections from the weather radar. We have the weather reflection like clouds or turbulence. So from the terrain you can see the terrain level in the navigation display with green, yellow and red color, and also the sea and the lakes and the rivers with cyan color. So right now we have the display of the airport and our position, so we can create a flight management computer flight plan for this flight and every flight. So we'll input the data of the airplane, like the gross weight with the fuel on board, and the planet trip from one airport to another, and the route we're gonna follow, the climb, the cruise, the descent and approach, and the departure and arrival runway, and also the ILS localizer if we use one. We will gonna tune the ILS localizer frequency manually or automatically using the flight management computer or manually using the radio communication panel. So I'm gonna start showing you. Also, we have the autopilot and flight director system. We have the autopilot engage and disengage switches, the auto throttle, left and right engage and disengage, the airspeed select node that displays also in the primary flight display. For selecting the airspeed in nodes like 200 or 300 knots, or in Mach speed like Mach 0.5, 0.7 or 0.8. So we have also the fixed thrust and the variable thrust mode for the auto throttle and the airspeed select mode. Like the flight continues, we have the speed mode, which is the fixed variable thrust mode. We have the climb continues, which is a fixed thrust, and we have the flight level change also, which is fixed thrust. For climb or descent, climb using maximum continuous thrust or idle thrust in either case. So these limits are calculated from the flight management computer and the flight director. So we have also the VNAV and the LNAV, the vertical navigation and the lateral navigation mode in the autopilot and flight director system. We have the heading select node and the vanguard or limit select node, and the heading hold switch. So all these modes I'm going to show you for the autopilot and flight director. We have also the vertical rate of climb and descent in feet per minute, like tens or hundreds or thousands of feet per minute. We also have the vertical speed, the flight path angle in degrees. We have also the flight path angle for climb and descent in degrees, like 2-3 degrees climb and descent. We have also the altitude hold switch and the altitude select knob, and we have the approach for autoland, the approach switch, and the flight director on and off, and the VOR localizer switch for the autopilot and flight director system. So this is some of the systems that I'm gonna show you, like the primary flight display and the autopilot and the flight director. So the navigation display also. So you can see the primary flight display. You can see the airspeed here displayed, the barometric altitude above the sea level, the airspeed selected, the altitude selected, the flight director crossbars with the pitch ladder and the bank angle in degrees, the radio altitude above the ground level. Over here the magnetic entry heading, the barometric pressure of the atmosphere around, outside the aircraft. So we have the flight director for takeoff here, takeoff go around mode limits. You can see a limit for takeoff for like 7.5 degrees right now, pitch up. So we have the vertical rate of climb and descent here. This needle will show you how fast the aircraft climbs and descends in thousands of feet per minute. We have the navigation display here. You can see the position of the aircraft, other aircraft flying around us, the airports, the terrain level 6,100 feet above the sea level with red for these mountains over here of the Switzerland, the Alps. We have also the France here and the Germany this way, northwest. So it's 0 feet with green and yellow with intermediate. You can see the airports. I'm going to show you the ground speed, the wind speed component, other information, while the distance from the flight plan we're going to be creating. The magnetic and true heading also here and here. So I'm going to show you here in the autopilot and flight director system panel. After the primary flight display with the flight mode unlocked, I'm going to show you the autopilot and flight director system panel, how it displays in the primary flight display. So we're going to select an airspeed here and here, a little bit different than the one we have. So you will see the difference. You can see the flight director on and off switch here, on and off the auto throttle. flight director, the autopilot, maybe engaged, disengaged, yeah. We're gonna show you later. This is also the press button. You can press it again to select indicated airspeed or Mach, right, like this here. Also, these are the heading. We're gonna select a different heading. You can select the bunker angle limit like this. I'll select a different heading. So you can select the hold switch here. We'll select the hold. You can just select it like this. Select it like this. Either way. So we'll select the hold here. Here's the vertical speed, flight path angle, the altitude here and here. So the altitude also can be the press button, select and deselect. So we're gonna see now the vertical speed and the altitude here. We can connect the autopilot if we extend the flap like all the way down. Just for displaying, I'm gonna make maybe a shorter display of the system today because now it's time for starting when the engines you can see the flap settings here. The flaps are important for takeoff and for landing, also for cruise. So you can see where the flaps are right now, and they're going down. The white inside the black box goes to 30 degrees. You can see the N1 here, the low speed, low pressure compressor stage of the turbofan turbojet engine. I'm gonna show you the 8 now, the engine indication to a Lszh system. We have the N1, which is the low speed, low pressure compressor stage of the turbofan turbojet engine. We have the exhaust gas temperature from the left and right engine. We have the N2, which is the high speed, high pressure compressor stage of the turbofan turbojet engine. We have the oil quantity, oil temperature, and oil pressure, and also the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine, the flap settings, some warnings, the landing gear, extended restart, and other information like the electrical, the hydraulic, the air system, the flight control, the pressurized air, also the APU information, and the landing gear, the tires, pressure, and temperature of the brakes. So we have many systems from the electrical, the APU, the batteries. We can display here also the doors are closed and the cabin is pressurized. So this is the ACAS. We have the outflow valves here. These are pressure from the engine's outflow valves. So I'm gonna show you this also. You can see all the information here for flying the airplane. And we need so this is the N1, the low speed, low pressure compressor stage of the turbofan turbojet, the exhaust gas temperature, the landing gear is down. You can see the warnings here with the yellow and red. The duct pressure from the outflow valve. If we are the camping altitude, the total fuel displayed here, and the temperature of the fuel 105,000 pounds. This is the symbol of our aircraft, the N2, which is the high-speed, high-pressure compressor stage of the turbofan turbojet engine, the fuel flow per engine, per hour, the oil pressure, temperature, quantity, vibration of the engine. The flight management computer, very important for setting up the flight plan here. We have the mouse here for the displays. So we have the horizontal stabilizer tail here, also used by the autopilot in conjunction with the autothrottle. We have the stabilizer trim here to connect some other information I will show you later. So I'm going back in the autopilot. I told you about the airspeed select, the altitude select, so we can select also like 10s here, and different airspeed here. You will see this displayed like the primary flight display, heading, hold, and altitude. And then we're gonna select the reference speed mode, so it's fine. So we have the LNAV and the VNAV. We can select also these modes here, like the vertical speed, flight path angle, the warlock here and here, the approach. So you will see this one mode or another. Select and deselect switch. This is mostly for flying, so we're gonna use this for descent, the minus 2000 feet plus 2,000, 3,000 feet for climb. We can select vertical speed of flight path angle, so we have again descend like 3 degrees or climb like 3 degrees. So we will have this 2.9, we have this displayed heading, hold and flight path angle here. We can see the symbol here for the flight path angle if we select the hold, or you can see how fast we need to fly with the set. So you can see the angle of attack of the aircraft. You can see the limits here for the autopilot. So we can engage the autopilot now. You will see the autopilot engaged here, displayed with AP. Autopilot is on in the primary flight display, the AP. So I can come here and disengage this. You will see the autopilot disconnect here, and the warning. So if I re-engage this, it will cancel the warning. So we have the autopilot again engaged, so we can disengage it like this, using this button here, into control wheel of the airplane. So we have the autopilot disengaged, disconnected again. So we cancel the warning if we like and reconnect it. So this is how engage and disengage the autopilot. Engage here like this, and disengage here like this, and then cancel the warning. And now we go in the rest system. Here is the electronic flight instrument system. I told you about the displays, the ACAS, the upper ACAS and the lower ACAS, and indications for the engines. So we have the thrust levers here. You can see the auto throttle disengage switch here for the autopilot system. This disengages the auto throttle. We have the takeoff go around here switch. We have the thrust reverses here. You can engage the reverse thrust from the engine here. You can see the reverse here displayed. So this will make the airplane slow down into the ground after touchdown during landing phase. So you can see the reverses here being extended. We can retract them. Deploy the reverser again. You can see this view, or this view you better like. Front view. Retract and extend again. So this is how to slow down the airplane during touchdown, the landing phase. So you can see here we also have the landing gear here is down or up. You can select it. We have the alternate gear here. Some other switches, ground speed increase, you can see gear override. We have the auto brake here. This switch you can select it. The flap limit. So you can see the flaps right now. This is you can deselect this rather. This is the pitch stream, the horizontal tail pitch stream, and the pitch stream stabilizer cutout switches to the normal. This is the parking brakes, up and down the parking brakes. This is the nose up, down and up trim. The stabilizer cutout switch for the electric, for the autopilot and the auto thrust electric trim system of the horizontal tail of the aircraft. So you should have it in normal unless you have a failure and the system doesn't work right. So this is the speed brakes here, extend, retract. Some other systems, I told you the fuel flow into the engines, the radio and communication panel. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of the engines now. So we use the thrust levers from the engines to increase the thrust for taking off and also flying the airplane. can see how powerful they are. So increase the thrust levers from the engine to increase the thrust produced inside the engine using more fuel flow, the highest fuel flow into the engine. You also see all the pressures here from the engine actuate differently to increase or decrease the engine like into the fuel flow. You go up to 10,000 pounds per engine per hour the vibration to duct pressure from the outflow valves also. The N1, you can see the commanded N1 here, and the actual is increasing. Here the commanded now is idle, and the actual is decreasing. And the limit for takeoff, the maximum takeoff would bring 105.6%. So this is for the engine. You need to use the thrust from the engine to fly the aircraft, because for taking off this airplane you need to go into the runway for takeoff, and then increase the thrust levers, and also use some flaps like 10 or 15 degrees and some pitch trim, the horizontal stabilizer trim. And after you achieve an airspeed for this aircraft with 254,000 kilograms of total gross weight, not maximum, and 46,000 kilograms of fuel on board, which is about 30% of fuel, 20,000 kilograms of passenger and cargo, total of 246,000, I think, kilograms. So we need about 154 knots or 270 kilometers an hour or higher airspeed for taking off this aircraft. Otherwise, with less airspeed, the aircraft is gonna have it's gonna be closer to the stall speed, and the stall speed is gonna make the aircraft is not gonna produce enough lift for taking off this and flying this aircraft. So it's gonna stall the aircraft wings. Stalling the aircraft will spoil the airflow, and also diminish the lift ability of the wings to hold the aircraft in flying. So we need to develop an airspeed above the stall speed and have an effective lift for flying over into the sky. So for holding the weight of the aircraft, the mass of the aircraft times the gravity acceleration up into the air. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So you need the forward thrust from the edges to develop an airspeed like 270 kilometers an hour in the runway for takeoff. So you can see here and here the thrust levers. Again, the wings here. So this is the wings that produce the aerodynamic lift component. You can see the forward thrust propulsion by means of action and reaction using the newtons per second and third law of motion, some physics and some aeronautical engineering and mathematics. You can find the components for takeoff and for flying, and also cruise and flying. You can see the flight spoilers here, the flaps are down. So you need to increase the thrust from the engines like this, and you can see here we have the bottom surface of the wings are more flat actually than the top surface, which is more curved. So this from the leading edge all the way back to the trailing edge creates a stream of airflow when we have 270 kilometers an hour that produce an overpressure. The air travels slower because the surface is flat. It travels slower to the bottom of the wing, and it travels much faster in the top of the wing. So we have more pressure below the wing, and we have lower pressure, less pressure above the wing. This makes a differential pressure that creates the lift component, the pressurized air. We need an under pressure above the wing and an over pressure below the wing. So we also have the deflection of the wing surfaces like the ailerons and spoilers, the flaps that create some additional lift, and the elevator, the horizontal tail elevator, and the vertical tail, the rudder. We use the side stick for the simulator, or the yoke for the Boeing aircraft to move the elevator up and down for climb and descent, and also the rudder pedal left and right for yaw. and also the other ones on the spoiler for bang roll using some moment forces using Newton's physics per second third law of motion, the kinematics when you install an astral and aerospace engineering. So you need a forward thrust, you need the lift component, the position of the mineral dynamics core of the forward wing, which is about 25% of the max, and is used for the maximum aerodynamic lift pressure center, and also for calculating the center of gravity of the aircraft, which should be positioned at forward or up this position. So you can see the vectors from the physics and the moment arm from the tail. The horizontal and the vertical they create the moment arm. The moment arm is times it's the mass of the flow of air above the wing surface, the horizontal tail or the vertical tail per second times the surface area of the wing being deflected, like the elevator or the rudder, times the distance from the center of gravity of the aircraft, times I believe the gravity acceleration and the mass of the aircraft maybe. So you can use this calculation. So as you can see, so we have here is the 25% of the mineral dynamic core, the center of gravity is here vertical, pretty much here. So this is the moment arm over here from the center of gravity down to the tail of the aircraft. Also we have moment arms from the center of gravity all the way out to the ailerons and the spoilers from bang rolling the airplane. So you can see how I'm gonna show you now how to use we have like 30 more minutes, so I'm gonna show you now how to use all the ailerons and the spoilers here, the control wheel and the control column of the airplane. So you can see here we have the control wheel and the control wheel and the control column. We have also the rudder pedal for moving, for steering, for hand directional control of the airplane in flight. Also in the ground using this tiller for the nose wheel, and the thrust from the engines, from the turbo engines. So you can pitch up, pitch down, bang on left and right. So you can see I'm using this side stick controller here for this airplane for this simulation. So I'm using this controller, this side stick. Hope you like it. The Logitech Extreme 3. You can see I can pitch up and pitch down the elevator in the display of the computer like this for flying the aircraft, for steering, also the bang roll, right and left, and the rudder pedals. So we have the pitchstream stabilizer and the thrust from the engines forward for flying this airplane. So pitch up, pitch down, climb, descend, and also turn left and turn right using rudder pedals also. And the stabilizer trim position, very important. Over here, so you can see also the outside view. We have the tail and the rudder here, also the elevator. You can see the elevator up and down for the moment arms, deflecting the airflow, and the ailerons also. And the spoilers here. So you can see I'm also doing the same. You have the outside view of the controls inside the cockpit. I'm going to show you outside view of what doing with the yoke or the side stick for controlling the aircraft flight control position, pitch up, pitch down, bang roll left, bang roll right, and the rudder pedals. So it's the same thing like inside. You can see the flight controls moving around like this. And this is only for steering the airplane, not for flying it. It's only for changing the direction it flies. You need the wings hold surface to produce the lift force. And you need the thrust, the forward thrust from the turbofan engine to move it forward. So you can see the rudder. For instance, the elevator, it's climb and descent. So This is the main principle. I'm gonna show you now how to start the engine, some instruments inside, the electrical, the hydraulic, the pressurizer. So also the APU, very important. We need to start the engine. So I'm gonna show you how to start the APU. We have the air data Lszh reference unit also here. So this is a nice view here for the cockpit. I'm gonna make it a little bit faster this time. Maybe not doing the whole explanatory about this flying. So we're only gonna start the APU system. You can see the electrical here. We have the batteries here. We have the generator, the left engine, right engine, electrical alternate current, 120,000 kilovolts. You can see the flow of the electrical power. We have the backup generators, 120 volts each one to 200 volts, 400 Hz frequency alternate current, with electromagnetic alternators from the engines, driven from the engines for the engine work. Also produce electrical power, 120,000 kilovolts each engine, and 120,000 kilovolts from the APU. We're going to use the APU for starting the engines. We have the primary flight control computers here, the thrust asymmetry compensator computers, the RDU, the data server engine unit, the window heat, the ram turbine, the hydraulic here. I'm gonna show you maybe in another flight the hydraulic system. No much time for this. This windshield wiper, the lighting system of the aircraft, the anti-ice for the wind and the engine is on. To the bottom, we have the fuel quantity here, the fuel tank, the left wing fuel tank, the right wing fuel tank, the center tank, and the crossfit valve. So you can see here the flow to the engines, this line. We have the fuel jettison. We can arm this and dump fuel in flight. We have also electronic engine control computers here, left and right engine. We can use the auto start on and off. We can use it in the on position actually. So here we have the cabin pressurization in the automatic. We can use the manual for climb and descent, using the outflow valves when climbing and when descending to open and close the outflow valves to depressurize the aircraft, which is pressurized actually from the left and the right engine when they work, through the pack systems here, the left and right pack. It drives the pressurized air from inside the engine. The engine produces a lot of pressurized air when we fly, when we move the thrust levers forward. So you can see the displays again here, the limits for takeoff, the thrust levers, the fuel cutout, the engine fire, left and right engine fire, the stabilizer trim here again, the speed brakes here, the pitch trim, and the flap position should be higher for takeoff, like 15 degrees over here. You will see the change of position. So we have the autopilot again here. You can see the displays of the autopilot are correct. So we have also these displays here. So this is the Boeing 777-300 ERX airplane. So I'll show you some of the systems. You can see we can disconnect this electrical because we have the APU running now. We can also disconnect the hydraulic, connect to the jet, the on. So we need the engine driving again. So the APU is start. We can go show you we use this pressurized air, I told you, for cabin pressurization, for wing and engine anti-ice system, and also for starting the engine using the APU here, compressor. When you start the APU, the engine's pressurized air is up. We also use it for hydraulic fluid control, pressurization, because this hydraulic driven engine, left engine and right engine driven pumps, and the backup electrical, the hydraulic system, we need also pressurized air for the hydraulic fluid for having flight controls and other surfaces. So I'm gonna show you now a little bit of the CDU here and electronic control display. So we have the displays here on. We have the display, we have the engine, we have the status, you can see the APU is running, we have the hydraulic, the oxygen, we have the checklist, what to do the normal menu before start doing this item. We have the computer display here. I can see the checklist is complete. We have the communication, the navigation, the synoptics, the doors are closed, the cabin can be pressurized, the landing gear, you can see the temperature inside, the pressure inside the tires and the pressure of the brakes. You have the left and right engine driving, electromagnetic generators that produce the alternate current. We have the APU, also alternate current, 120,000 kilovolts left engine and 120,000 kilovolts right engine, alternate current 200 volts, 120 to 200 and 400 hertz frequency using electromagnetic induction generators, north and south pole bipolar induction. We have the main voltage from the battery here. You can see the left engine and right engine, the controllers, the voltage here. So this is the electric, this is the hydraulic, left and right engine. You can see the quantity here of the fluid and the pressure, 2000 psi, the demand of the left engine driven pumps, the left electric, the right engine and the right electric, and the backup electric C1 and C2, the isolation valve and consumers of the fuel, of the hydraulic fluid. So the fuel here, we have the left wing and the right wing. You can see the green line is the flow of the fuel into the left and the right engine, the total fuel, the left wing fuel, the right wing fuel, 51,000 pounds in each wing. The APU also takes some fuel, and the crossfeed valves. The center tank is empty. So this is some of the system. We also have the air. We have the flight control. You can see the flight control surfaces here. We can move around the yoke like this. You will see the flight controls moving. This and this, and also the other side. You will see the display here. You can see also the autopilot here panel, the throttle lever. So this is a nice display here. So this is the flight controls here only. The elevator and the rudder, the stabilizer trim, the other ones is polished. So this is for moving around like this. So we have also the air system, the left engine and the right engine, compressed air, the APU. We're gonna use the APU for starting the engine starter, the high pressure stage. We have the air conditioning, the cabin pressurization from the outflow valves, and also some other systems like the wing and engine RTI. So if we increase the flow of the air, if we increase the thrust, the flow of the air will become higher. You see the duct pressure is higher. We also have duct pressure from the APU for starting the engines in the ground when it is pressurized. So the flight controls, the modes. So we go back into the engines, back into the virtual cockpit. I'm gonna shut down the engine now. Starting the engine. They are in the off position. You can see the engine is shut down, the N1, the exhaust gas temperature, the N2, the fuel flow, the oil pressure, temperature and quality, the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. So you can see, maybe we can do both engines start smooth down and sleep. So you can see the left and right engine is off. You can see the engines stop spinning. So you have here the shutdown message. The N1 is going out, the N2, the fuel flow, the oil pressure. So the fuel flow you can see 0 right now. We need to use the auto start is on. So we're gonna use either auto start now. You will see the engine driving. There is compressed air here. The compressed air is going out. So no air compression. We're gonna start it now. The N1 decreases. The N2 decreases rapidly, so we can start both engines simultaneously if we want, like this. We have enough pressure from the APU to start both engines. So you can see the pressure, the N2 increases, the N1 also, and the exhaust gas temperature, so the engines are stabilized now for starting both engines in one go. So we did only the fuel levers in the on both of them. So you'll see the fuel flow increase rapidly now in both engines. Here we go. Both engines on. Using the auto start. And here we go. We can go for takeoff. The engine is stabilized. So use maybe some lights here and set up the flight management computer of the flight plan. So the flight plan we're gonna use for guiding the aircraft in flight. So we have the initial reference, the menu, the FMC, the model, the position initialized, GPS position from this airport, Lszh, back to this airport and set the initial position here. We have the initial, the zero fuel weight, the gross weight of the aircraft, cruising altitude, the cost index 100%, and the reserve fuel over here 5%. We can change some of this value, Lszh, the route, departure, arrival, this runway. Using this departure here, Lszh localizer 14 transits to alpha. So departure, arrival again, Lszh 14 transits 1 trans amicis. So we have this. Cancel discontinuity, activate and execute, and these are the thrust takeoff limit reference, flaps 15 degrees, center of gravity, and we have the V-speed, so we can take off the aircraft now. We're ready with this takeoff gross weight. So we have only the legs here. We need to disarm the parking brakes and move the thrust levers forward, so we can taxi using this pillar here into the runway and take off. We have like 18 minutes left for this flight, not much of time. So the runway is open here for us to take off. Use some brakes here. And then the thrust levers again. And the rudder pedals to steer the aircraft in the ground with the pillar. So here we are, parking brakes again. You can see here is the flight plan, the terrain scan from the radar, the flight management computer. So I'm gonna save later. It displays the autopilot here is set. So we have the outside view here of the airplane. Just for takeoff and flying a little bit, a few minutes. So we go back into the cockpit. Now we can advance the thrust levers forward and disarm the parking brakes. So we can go. So we have about 18 minutes left for this flight. Advance to full takeoff, go around power. So we have 130 knots, pilot ready. V1, we takeoff. Here we go, a small pitch. You can see how to pitch up for takeoff without striking the tail of the airplane down into the ground. Just a small pitch. You can see the limits also here for takeoff. You can see we have a positive rate of climb now. So we retract the landing gear here. We have some overspeed here. So we're gonna use this mode as we climb. You can see we are 2,200 to 4,500 feet above the ground, but 4,300 feet above the sea level. The airspeed 200 knots. The rate of climb 4,500 feet per minute. So maybe disarm the auto throttle. Disarm the auto throttle now and use maximum takeoff thrust again for this. You can see the rate of climb, the altitude, target airspeed, and the flight plan. Here is the waypoint we're gonna be flying over. So you can see here how we turn this airplane. We keep climbing. Climb a little bit faster rate of climb. So we have an overspeed again, but no problem, we can glide faster like this. So now we fly with 235 knots or Mach 0.4. And this gives us a Mach speed of 0.4 or about 500 kilometers an hour. For glide, you can find this airplane. So we fly with 500 kilometers an hour forward speed, or about 200 meters a second. So you can see this nice departure from this airport as we keep climbing. We have the Switzerland here, the beach, this note here, beautiful. Here when we have also you can see the sky here. We have the night sky with the star sign. So this is the Boeing 777 300 ERX flying with 500 kilometers an hour, or about so the airspeed right now is about I hope you like this view of the Boeing 777 300 ERX airplane with this engine. So it's a magnificent airplane to fly. Here we have another nice view of the aircraft as we're flying over Switzerland and Zurich. Hope you like. So we have like 80 minutes more or less for this flight. Keep climbing up. We are almost closer into the stall speed now. We have the speed mode, that's why we have to disconnect the speed mode and fly with higher thrust, demanding thrust. So climbing faster into the target altitude. So this is the waypoint we have to follow over here and here. So we have like 10 more minutes for this flight because I have to go somewhere actually, so there's not much time for this. We overflying Switzerland and the St. Gallen, the lake, this beautiful lake here. And we have this beautiful star sign. So this is our spacecraft for tonight. You can see the galaxies here as we fly this galactic view in this airplane. We have this view. Here is Germany this way, the Bayern Munich and the Bavaria this way is Switzerland, and this way maybe France, this way is France. So going over here again. So this is the view here of the Boeing 777. We fly with about 600 kilometers an hour, or about overflying about 250 meters a second. feet. 18,000 feet. So this is the night view now. So we keep overflying here. Maximum climb crash. Need a few more minutes. Flying. Fine. Maximum glide thrust here, you can see 101% the limit here for the N1 right now, 107 for the N2, the fuel flow. So now we have some limits here being displayed, different limits. So we have the speed mode now engaged for climbing up. A bit higher, we have the stall speed warning. Remember, the stall speed is this red line here. We make the aircraft fall into the ground. We have to stay in the yellow and above. This is the stall warning limit. So this is the flap limit. We are 21,000 feet above the ground level. Keep flying. Only couple more minutes. Maybe 31, 32,000. So we overflying here. We have the German in front of us, 32,400, 32,600. So we go outside. We're gonna have the chemtrails now coming out from the tail of the airplane. No chemtrails, doesn't matter. No chemtrails for this flight. Maybe we need to climb higher. But it's okay, we can start going back into the airport now. We need to save some time. Maybe climbing higher, like 37, 39,000 feet, but it's okay, we can climb back to the airport. So you can see this view now, the beautiful view as we're going back into the airport. Overflying Switzerland and Germany. This side we have the Bayern Munich, as I told you, and the Bavaria. And we have this beautiful galactic view here, overflying. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 300 ELX. Flying with about 600 kilometers an hour. So maybe we track the flaps now. There's so many flaps. Going back into the airport, we have like 10 more minutes for flying. So we need to fly faster. Connect the autopilot here and the altitude hold switch here. So you have the autopilot navigate. He's down this. We need to go direct into this over here, this waypoint. Execute and the arrival speed here. So we have the arrival speed. We have this directly into waypoint. So we increase the airspeed here. About 325 knots as we are holding level. So we need to go with higher simulation rate here, 35,000 feet. You can see we increase the airspeed now, and we hold with the autopilot here, and this altitude, and we have the map for later already. We can see the line, the autopilot follows back into the airport. We have the airport here in the side. and we need to start descent now. So this is going to initiate the flight level training mode here. Our new target altitude below the 25,000. So here we are at 25,000 feet above Switzerland with Mach 0.78 or 900 kilometers an hour. 900 kilometers an hour or about 300 meters per second. So this is our spacecraft for tonight. The Boeing 777, 35,000 feet above the ground level. Hope you like this view also. Beautiful view as we descend back to the Republic of Switzerland. 33,000 feet, coming closer into the airport, so we get the VS here. It's gonna descend higher now. It is speed. So we need to extend the speed brakes now to slow us down. You can see the auto throttle here for the switch. So we're going back to the airport. We're going to be overflying the Switzerland. We're flying about 800 kilometers an hour now, slowing down as we're coming down to the airport. And use the Ilsloc here, disengage the autopilot ready. Fly manually now. 16,000 feet. The landing gear here now. Have a warning. We have the auto throttle. We're flying manually now again. You can select a lower airspeed here, like for landing. So 12,000 feet to descend. Use some flaps now to slowing down the airplane. You can see where we are right now, descending into the airport. We're overflying the river actually, very close to the river. Taking the turn for the river. So here we are in the front of the, very close into the airport. We have the Lszh localizer now alive with the glide slope here, the airspeed we fly. We are 7,000 feet descent with this rate, and also flying with this airspeed. So we need to slow down the airplane a little bit. Have the landing gear down. We are in front of the runway now. Keep descending like this, so we need to hold level. You can see I'm using this for the pitch spring. So we're gonna have the runway in front of us. We need to turn into the left for this Lszh localizer approach. A little bit to the left. We are below the glide slope now. keep going down. We are 2,500 feet above the ground level right now. We need to hold level for a while, for a couple of minutes, as we keep flying like this. So this is where we are right now, overflying the river, coming closer into the airport. We need to hold level. We're very close into the airport right now. We have the auto throttle, and we use manual thrust. So you can see the Lszh localizer here. We almost align with the runway here. You can see the glide slope here, and the horizontal localizer, the airspeed, the stall speed. We need to hold these limits for flying closer into the runway. We have a few more minutes to go. Only need to make the turn here for aligning with the runway. Now we are almost aligned with the runway. So this is where we are right now, closer into the runway. A few more seconds to go. For the landing. So this is where we go for the landing right now. You can see the Lszh localizer here. The runway we have. We need to align with the runway here and here, and also the glide slope. So need to pitch down a little bit. We need to descend a little bit faster now. Coming closer and closer. 3,500. 3,500. Keep descending. Decrease the thrust. Increase and decrease the thrust whenever we need. So you can see here we have the Lszh localizer landing here. We almost aligned with the runway. The runway is a little bit to the left. You can see the runway symbol, also the Lszh, the glide slope. We are 1,300 feet above the ground, 2,200 above the sea level. We are now into the glide slope. We need to hold like this. For landing, pitch up a little bit. A little bit pitch up, a little bit to the right. I'm trying to hold off as possible. The alignment here. Keep flying manually. We have some side wind from the right. Here we are into the glide slope. $100, $50, $30. Here we are. Touchdown to the ground. So here we are, touchdown to the ground. Use the parking brakes and the reverse route. Reverse route, full reverse, and slowing down into the runway here. We just touched down. You can see. So here we are. We just touched down the runway 14, Zurich International Airport. Hope you like this flight, the Boeing 777-600. So you can see we just touched down. We have the landing gear here, the nose wheel. are normal. You can see there is no damage to the landing gear, and also no damage to the nose wheel. Over here the nose wheel is safe with the tires from the airplane, the left and the right landing gear, and also here the nose wheel. You have no breakage, so you can keep flying this airplane. You can get more tires, right? So that was a smooth landing. So we can fly this airplane again if you want. So that was Thomas Hatsios, the pilot captain flying the Boeing 777-300 since the night flight. Thank you very much for watching me, and see you next time. Bye.